Now, going back to property tax, so maybe we have something a little under 1% in Arizona. I'd love to see if that's currently what it still is, but Texas is 3%. So if you spend 1.2 million on a property in Texas, you will not be 12,000, you'll be 36,000 a year for property tax. Now, they always say in Texas, but you don't have any state income tax. But who cares if you are an out-of-state investor buying a rental property? Your income in Texas is that rental property, and to have a property that's rented, bringing in 15,000 a year, 20,000 a year, you have to make a lot of money to pay a $36,000 tax bill. So percentage property taxing is a U.S. thing. Okay, I have not seen that anywhere else in the world. Look at Scotland for 1.2 million. It's $289 a foot. Let's just see what the property tax are. $6,500 a year. That's cheaper than pretty much. And I looked at all three of these Scotland properties, same thing. Now, let me show you a couple other what you gets. Because I want you to understand that the way that we do property tax is starting to implode. Okay, here's Romania. That's random. 880, 1% would be 8,300 a year. $300 per year. Mexico is less than 0.5%. I'm telling you, I haven't seen anywhere around the world yet where property tax is 1% or more. That's only here. Yeah.
So, lawsuits in Texas against how the properties are being assessed.
It's very problematic. I mean, my grandmother had lived in the same house since 1948 in Indiana, and right around 2009, 2010, they didn't have a cap written into property tax, and so they did their annual 5-year reassessment. Her taxes went like tripled, and so then they went back and said, okay, we have to rethink this. I'm telling you, as a real estate investor, we're going to have to rethink property tax, because if properties continue to go up like they have been, median properties now are over 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 in states like Illinois, and where they're 2-3%. States have to rethink that in terms of a collection vehicle, because the other thing that you have to understand is, so I think Mexico is very interesting as a growth investment opportunity. I'm fascinated by Mexico. If you look back to the 1950s U.S. real estate market, okay, you had cheap land, you had cheap labor, you had very little government regulation for development and construction, okay, and that doesn't exist anywhere in the U.S. I mean, up until 15 years ago, there were places in the country that you could buy a lot with an ocean view for under $250,000. Can anyone think of anywhere in the country where you can buy? Yeah. Oregon, you can still buy $250K. Yeah, so it's got to be one of the last places. Oh, in the U.S. though, yeah. Oh yeah, out of the country, absolutely. In Mexico, you can buy a lot for $10,000 with an ocean view still, right? And yeah.
I thought in Mexico you can't own the property; you get a property lease.
So you could not have scripted my. I was going to tell you guys that, and you just. That's why I bought you breakfast. Because, did you hear what he said? If people always say, well, in Mexico, you can't own the property, you just get a land lease for 99 years. How do you own you don't own your property? You may have your house free and clear, but if you don't pay that tax bill every 6 months, who owns your house, the city or the county where you live? We do not have true property ownership in this country with a property tax. Tell me I'm wrong. Are we not all renting our properties from the county? We don't have true property ownership with a property tax because they have the right to overthrow any non-payment, and they have the right to raise it to whatever they want, essentially. Think about that. Who just had a paradigm shift, right? And so I wish I could say that was my own idea. Somebody pointed that out to me, and I was like, well, shit, now I'm going to Mexico. Because in Mexico, now you do potentially